We are back with our second series of the night, headed to the North American region Tier 2 division, as we've got Saga Genesis taking on Crimson Crew. The dogs
Uh,
are excited for this one.
the
I,
dogs are extremely excited for this one.
I am too, so I can't blame them. I can't blame them.
Yeah, I mean, Saga Genesis, one of our legacy orgs here in Tier 2. Lucy Willis, of course, head of Overwatch for the CGL. She is the captain of this team, and they're coming in on a 2-0 record with a +4 map differential. You're thinking, well, how is that possible when here in week 3, and playing 2 matches? Nope. Both teams have actually had a bye here, and it looks like they are giving a win and a singular map point during the bye week. So, it will keep things honest here. Crimson Crew coming in on a 1-1 record, and they are on a -3 map differential. So they've got some work to do here, as they have, not won a match yet, other than the bye week.
But, it's early. It's early in the season. We're in week 3. It's hard to put too much weight into those numbers. I will say, yeah, I mean, on paper, Crimson Crew, the underdogs. I mean, losing one, Saga have won theirs without dropping a map. But
Mm-hmm.
we already saw our underdogs come in with a major upset in our first series of the evening. Can Crimson Crew be the second upset of the night?
I mean, looking at Saga Genesis tonight, you know how I am. I call it how I call it. And I mean, just looking at Lucy in the support role, I know how well she can play, especially if she's on her game. I mean, Erebus is one of the players that I remember from MTT 7
Yeah.
that really started to show up and show out in the DPS role. And I think they've just gotten a little bit more maturity under their belt in the offseason. So we'll see how, they keep it together. Sparhard and Etienne, they were a very good tank duo in the tier 2 scene. So we'll see if they've actually leveled up their gameplay as well. This is not going to be on the live patch now that we saw in our previous match. So Reinhardt will not be in favor as much here.
Correct. This is before the patch dropped earlier today. So yeah, no 85 damage hammer swings. Does not have that extra 50 health. And we didn't really see the other, we didn't see much Diva. We saw Baptiste for a brief moment in our last series, but we didn't really get to see the impact of the other changes. The Reinhardt changes certainly played a factor, though. So, I mean, I expected a little bit more double shield out, but in Tier 2, you tend to stick with your comfort picks. You want to go with what your practice at, what your team knows best, and that can win you Tier 2. You don't necessarily have to stick to the meta verbatim, hard and fast. So, I'm curious to see what our teams roll out with as we start off on our first map, will be Ilios.
I love Ilios. I love Ilios, and I mean, I'm really interested to see how Crimson Crew are going to go up against a legacy squad. I mean, these players have been playing together now on 2 seasons. Some of them have been playing since MTT 5. So I know Lucy and I used to battle heads together in Tier 1 back before CGL was CGL. So I know that the caliber is there for these players. So we'll see how they address to it and how they really bring it out as far as, that veteran experience. That's what I'm looking at here in this matchup is experience versus a team that I don't remember them being in Tier 2 last season. We'll see what will bring it out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 6 months since the spring 2020 season concluded, but I do recognize all of these names. These are definitely players that have been around the console scene for some time, and I mean, I think that could certainly play a factor. I mean, experience and calm as a cucumber, cool as a mountain lake, as they say. As looking at our map pool, like I said, we're going to start on Ilios. Eichenwald is your hybrid map for this week. Volskaya, your assault. Rialto, your escort map, and Nepal will be our tiebreaker if necessary.
Yeah, I'm looking towards a very competitive series here. I think that Saga Genesis, if I'm putting my outlook there, if I'm putting my prediction out there, I think it's going to go easily to Saga just because of the veteran, ability to compete in this league across the seasons. We'll see how Lucy keeps the team up though. Myth Goose also had a really good Zen and also a really good, if I remember, a very good Baptiste as well. So we'll see how they address Ilios, my friend, because this is in our SR range, and we know a lot of these players from being in the CGL for now. I mean, I've been here now. Gosh, I guess it would be CGL 4 before CGL was CGL back in OXC.
Right.
So a lot of these names, yep, I'm very interested to see how much leveling up they've done in the past 6 months, because we had a really good last season in the CGL.
We did, and we're off to a heck of a start here in fall 2020. And well, let's get off to a heck of a start in our Tier 2 matchup and see what our teams have to offer. Saga starting in the blue jerseys, looking like we are going to see some double shield from the veteran crew, McCree and Torbjorn to put the hurt down.
I love the Torbjorn pick here, especially if you get a good turret position. You can deny so many avenues of flank. I mean, this is going to be a real work for them to be able to get around it. On the other side, though, we're looking at Hanzo and McCree DPS line bringing out the Reinhardt Roadhog variant for the tank line.
Oh, right out of the gate. It's Crimson Crew finding the goods as Noxious gets the final blow there, but overextending just a touch. Both of their tanks go down, and we're down to a 4v4 brawl left here on the point. Make that a 4v3 brawl, excuse me, with Etienne on the Sigma kind of leading the charge, but they're going to wait for some reinforcements while Crimson Crew grab the point.
Yeah, and that's, once again, that's that veteran leadership there. Recognizing that you're done, the fight's over, and now you pull back, quick little reset, and you start to address the point.
I love this positioning, maintaining their distance, allowing the Hanzo to put some work down, but the tanks are going to have to find a way to close this gap. In fact, Shogun's going to loop around to the outside, eats a flashbang, but Gainside goes down. Now the Amp Matrix is out from the Baptiste, and Northstar is going to be putting out double damage, double healing, as the percentage continues to rack up here for Crimson Crew.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking over here with Sparheart, getting a little bit greedy and trying to take space that really wasn't there. The kills are coming through for Crimson Crew, and this is a bit of a shocker here, especially going up against a squad like Saga Genesis, because, man, this is not what you expect. You've got to be expecting the Hanzo on a flank trying to take high ground.
Yeah, I wasn't even looking for it. Etienne kind of caught with their britches down on that one. And ate a free arrow there. Johnny Depp just building up that percentage. And Matrix from the other side to start things off as Saga make their approach back onto the point. Nice fan. Going to take Guckers out of the fight. And Shogun's forced back using his take breather to get out of dodge safely. Now returns, trying to counterpunch with the whole hog as we get dueling dead eyes over the point. Oh my goodness. Both McCrees finding a pair of kills. But Saga are left with more reinforcements standing. They're going to get the res as they do have the Mercy on the field and flip this point in the process.
Yeah, but I mean, there's still a lot of progress coming in from Crimson Crew, and that was a bit of an unluckers there going in for Guckers. As he, I didn't even know I could rhyme that.
Unluckers for Guckers. Oh,
Unluckers for Guckers. That's new. That's going to be a new one. And once again, this Torbjorn pick. You're seeing the value of the turret. They're having to constantly look for where it's at. And now he's got Molten Core online. You've got the tools to stop all the aggression coming right now. I'm not a fan of holding back this far, though. I think you need to get to the other side and take the fight to them, because you're playing really passively right now.
But I will say all of their heroes like working at range. So, I mean, they're doing a good job as far as that's good, fighting in the ideal distance for their team as they rotate around and just maintain that distance as Guckers tries to push through Cage, but there's a supercharger to run into, and that's just building ult charge for everybody on the team who doesn't already have it. Game's already close to another Deadeye, while Gonzo has slipped over to the Echo on the other side for going McCree. Now, big rotation once again. Hook, charge, sound barrier, and the attack comes through. Molten Core out. It's not going to dissuade Crimson Crew as they continue to press the issue. Mift is in a ton of trouble inside, caught in a bad position as the Dragons come out from Johnny. And now Mift is still just caught in the back line. Johnny eventually taking him down with a flurry of storm arrows. Two picks do go through the other way. Saga with the +1 right now in the fight. And Crimson Crew looking to somehow make something happen as time is running out.
Yeah, I mean, you're at 99% now. Flux online, you could actually flux them and deny their entry into the point. They've just got to watch out for the flashbang coming out. They don't have that anymore.
Oh, Flux is going to at least get one, but gets hooked out of it before they can do the slam damage. Did take Guckers out of the fight. Ambrose is going to pick up one. Game's Eye is going to take down the whole hogging Shogun. And Saga, after a rough start, are looking to edge it out in the end. The last bastion of hope down, and Saga pick up round one.
Yeah, I mean, that was absolutely huge from all players concerned. If you're Saga Genesis, looking at Saib getting those massive kills with the Peacekeeper, then the turret of Urboros, once again showing how much value you can get if you have that turret in the right place, especially if you're going to shield it off. You're just getting free ult charge every time that thing goes off, and auto aim is a beautiful thing with the turret. So going here now, we're looking at more of a brawl map, and Guckers, some questionable charges, some questionable positioning that we saw. He kind of rushed in sometimes without the help of his healer or his off tank. I think running the Ryan Hog there is a bit weird, but sometimes comfort picks just work. And the hook that we saw take Etienne out of the gravitic flux was absolutely massive.
That was a great hook, and I will say when they charged, they had sound barrier and the hook go out simultaneously. So though it was a little risky, at least they were all in together. And now Crimson Crew's circling around. They're going to take control of the bridge, and we're just going to get a bit of a distance war as both of our teams have gone Ryan Zarya now.
Yeah, and the sustain for both sides. I mean, you're looking at the BAP Lucio coming from Crimson, and then you're seeing Lucy and Myth Goose right here on the classic Moira Lucio, and they're losing the fight right now. Johnny Depp absolutely clutching out right now, and they're going to capture first progress, my friend.
Look at that ult charge. Johnny Depp, 95% to Dragons. I mean, just look at everything else across the board. No one else is even close.
North Star's at 86 for the
okay, Baptiste,
so
sure.
Yeah. I mean, he was putting in a ton of healing there on the off angle. And now, I mean, looking at Urboros bringing out the Mei. I love this pick, trying to cordon off the tank line.
Yeah, I just got to go Mei for Mei here. So it's going to end up being Johnny Depp, who's dropping Dragons as we speak through the walls. But there's none to be found there. Did separate Sparheart from the rest of the pack. But he's able to keep that shield up, wait for reinforcements to come through. Noxious super low. Somehow gets out of there with a speck of health. And now the wall is up. The Ant Matrix that is. The Mei wall was trying to defend against it. And with just a little bit of health left, Guckers wins one battle only to fall to another. And it's a bloodbath here on the Coast of Ruins. Looks like, I believe it's a +1 to, well, and that just got negated. Never mind. It's a 4v4 left on this point, if my math is serving me correctly, as Games comes up with their second kill of the fight.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the cleared up here. That's the huge wall that came out. Flattened the hammer, and Lucy, bloodthirsty Moira that you are. That's a weird charge.
I mean, just trying to buy more percentage, but you're feeding 400 health points with of ult to the opposite team.
Yep, and I mean, you're going to have 6 ultimates online, except for, I mean, you're going to have 5 right away. And then the Urboros Blizzard to seal the deal. You're going to have a lot going into this. Not to be outdone, you've got almost 4 online for Crimson Crew. I want to see the Shatter. I want to see a Graviton Surge really take the battle to them and, wait for that Crab Dragon combo.
Sparheart already going in, found the charge. No more Graviton Surge available, but Sparheart themselves are going to fall. Now the Shatter comes through the other way. That's going to find 3. And Guckers is going to go in swinging, but the rest of the team wasn't there. They couldn't get around the elbow bend due to a great Mei wall from Urboros, who just denied any follow-up on that. And, well, both teams missing some tanks, but Etienne on the battlefield burning down the opposition and Saga maintaining control.
What a fantastic off-tank play right now. We mentioned it many times here, my friend, in the past couple of days. Off-tanks seem to be winning the wars right now. And with this Reinhardt patch that's going to be coming through, if this is anything to show for Saga Genesis, Sparheart could be huge.
Maywall denies the follow-up on the other side this time, but here comes the Shatter. Blizzard in. Oh, man. Saga were frozen up, and Sparheart still managing to push through. There's the Blizzard out from Urboros as well, but it's Saga who are now hurting. And here comes the Blizzard from the other side. Now Gonzo goes down after throwing their Blizzard. You got a bit of a Lucio sickle on the point. Gucker's going to smash them against the wall.
What was
And after a
that?
massive back and forth, Crimson Crew emerged with the objective.
Questionable. Yeah, questionable shatter there from Guckers. I'm not sure what the point of that was, trying to get a Moira that can just fade out of it. You've got the Deadeye. I mean, where is GameSlab right now? I have not seen him here.
We're going to have Grav Dragons available as the Graviton Surge comes out. There goes the Dragons over the point. But Mift goes with a perfectly timed sound barrier, and there's no casualties. There's Games up top. Drops the Deadeye. Finds a pair. One with the Deadeye, one prior. Looking for his third with the Peacekeeper. It's going to be Etienne finishing off that kill. Now Guckers is low, and with 90 to 99, Saga reclaimed the objective.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I mean, the returns are coming in here. Game's like, oh my goodness. Yeah, that's got to be the flip right there.
They do get the point. Johnny's just going to yeet themselves on the objective, but can't even touch. Man, mine just that was a little early. You got a little antsy there, Johnny Depp. You've got some great aim, but your timing a little off as now Shogun's forced to move in by themselves. Maywall keeping the rest of Crimson Crew at bay. As mine is too. They're trying to push on the objective. Drop down the Shatter. It finds Games, but not much else. Sparheart's going to finish off Guckers before his McCree goes down. And Blizzard Out is going to deny any more contest on this point. Saga will take our opening map after a very close Ruins.
Man, that was a lot more competitive than the first map. I mean, the switches that came out from Crimson Crew, I really liked the Zarya of Shogun there, and Guckers still a couple of questionable charges. The Shatter that tried to take out a singular Moira, you could have saved that for the next fight,
Seriously,
and really done the damage in, and probably would have won you that map and taken us to Lighthouse. Man, I'm digging Johnny Depp right now, though. I mean, I dug Johnny Depp back when I was a teenager because he was also on 21 Jump Street. But still, I reveal my age. But I mean, his aim with the Hanzo was actually pretty darn good.
Yeah,
outstanding work. So I mean, going into our next map, which will be Eichenwald, I can see the value of the Hanzo there. I mean, the Dragons, they didn't get the value of the Grab Dragons because of Mift Goose's insane sound barrier. I mean, they were all dead to rights, and he popped it at just the right time and kept them up in that fight. So, I mean, back and forth battle there on Ruins. I really am looking forward to our next two maps.
Oh, I am indeed. That looked like it was within Crimson Crew's grasp. And, I mean, some just wonderful coordination between the ult usage, the Maywalls. The Maywalls were actually really good on both sides, denying follow-up to the big playmaking ultimates, doing a little divide and conquer. But the ones from Saga just seem to get just enough more value to buy that 100 to 99 victory. Going into Eichenwald, I'm curious to see if we get more compositional changes. Are we going to go back to the double? Are we going to see more double shield from Saga? Are these teams going to stick with the Reinhardts?
I mean, the Reinhardts seem to be doing quite well right now, and this might be a actual planned idea, especially here when they knew that the patch was going to drop. Getting your Reinhardt play back up to snuff is going to be a lot of, especially in the lower elos, it's going to be a lot of work for them, because we've been playing in this, the weird tank lines that's been going on for the past 3.5 months. We could be going back, as we mentioned earlier, back to Death Ball. That would be beautiful in my book.
I think we are going to see more Death Ball as this patch gets figured out and people kind of play with it a bit. I expect to see a lot more of the Brawl composition. But again, this is before the patch. This is not on the Super Reinhardt. And still, we saw both teams, running Brawl in that last map. So, and both teams looking pretty good on it. I will say Gucker's got a little ambitious at time. I'd like to see them kind of reel it back a little bit. But if you are going to get aggressive, I like the fact that you're getting aggressive with the rest of your team. We saw it on Lighthouse, like I mentioned, throwing in like the hook and the sound barrier and everything at once, and then the charge. That's okay, at least in my book. They were trying to punish rotations. I could see what they were going for. But you've got to know when you can go all out and when you need to tone it down. So I'm looking for just a touch of discipline out of Guckers. I mean, I'm not trying to harp on his main tank play, though. I mean, the Reinhardt was solid.
Yeah, I mean, what my coach told me back in the day when I actually played, was unbind your charge key or your charge button.
Yeah, just
Because I would
unbind
do
left
those
bumper.
hero, yeah. I mean, I would do those hero charges, and I'd put myself out of position, and then they'd focus me down, and then there's your utility gone, and everything that a Reinhardt will provide. So, I think that if Guckers reels it in, like you said, just a little bit, because I like his aggression and the fact that he is going with the team. I really do like it. We do see a substitution coming in. Can of Soup, one of my favorite people, one of my former teammates as well, brings in the Zenyatta here on the defense. So we're going to see a BAP Zen line. And we'll see Mod Bubble Boy bring in their own Torbjorn here. So a couple of swaps coming in.
And that's a greedy support line. It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage, but it puts a lot of pressure on your BAP to keep the team topped off. Is a good rush down here from Crimson Crew right out of the day. Oh, but North Star can't make it around the corner. Gets halted back and punished. And now missing their own Baptiste. Crimson Crew are in a little bit of an awkward position. As you can see, Guckers was discorded and low, and they're just going to run right back out.
Yeah, and look at that ult charge for Mythgoose right now, playing the main healer role now for Saga. 71% to the first amplification matrix. So we'll see how they do, but he's starting to drop a little low. He's got that regenerative burst, though, that'll get him top back up.
And, well, they're going to need it. As Crimson Crew looking to push in. You can see Shogun's already got quite a bit of charge. Look at that Zarya. You can see her from space. My goodness. Just a walking light bulb right now going in. But they're running into double damage. So the rotation comes through, but the supports don't make it. The amp speed, I don't know if the amp speed got out, but that was just too much damage coming through that giant bay window. Oh!
Oh, man. That's a beautiful work there from both Etienne and GameSide on the back of a wonderful amp matrix coming out of Mythgoose. Now, looking at ultimates coming into our next point, you're going to have your own for North Star. And, what I really want to see is, can they use it to enough effect to get not only Johnny, but also another sub, Jester Ubu, coming in on the Junkrat? Can you use it to really address this point?
Amp Matrix is out, but Etienne finds that kill immediately. They need to try to get some value out of this, besides just taking down a turret, as Jester is going to try to bounce some grenades off the wall. Does land some shots down. Etienne a little low. Sparheart's a little low, as Johnny's just trying to pelt him with arrows, but so far, Crimson Crew not getting a whole lot of ground, certainly not with Mythgood landing that headshot.
Mift is showing up huge in this series so far. I mean, you've got the tire online, you've got Shatter, and a sound barrier ready to go. So, I mean, got to hold that for, oh my gosh, that is an amp matrix and a supercharger. 150% damage going through this window right now. That is a bit of an overcommittal of ultimates, unfortunately.
Yes, it was, because Crimson Crew weren't quite in position yet, and now Jester's going to drop this tire. Just climbing the tower, looking to circle around, gonna right to the back, Shatter! And it's gonna find two! As Etienne and Sparheart were on their backs, Jester's gonna follow up with a beautiful shot to the high ground and take games out of the fight. What a combo. Johnny Depp with the cleanup and Crimson Crew with the point.
I mean, point, gained one, settled everything that you want to say into this, and you're gonna have 332 to get through the streets. You're going to have another amp matrix as well as dragons to get you through this next little bit of the streets phase. Shogun, supercharger is not too far off from them, so that could also be a wonderful addressing tool to get around these corners here. But, I mean, Flux, Bob, and Transcendence are going to be able to stop the aggression coming in from Crimson Crew.
Yeah, that Flux could be huge. Flux with Bob is a mean combo, because you could just lift everybody up and then the Bob there to put in just enough damage to be able to finish people off. As the Dragons come out, Transcendence right there, keeping everybody topped off on the high ground. Immortality Field used as well. Uh-oh, here comes Jester from behind on a lone mission here. And he's like, nope, I got what damage done I wanted, and I am out. Games is going to drop into the back line and take him down. Greet him with that Viper, and is now pouring shots into the Mercy. The Mercy is won. Johnny Depp is done. And now it's the Sigma on fire. Guckers is just burning and getting shot in the back. Games with a beautiful flank.
I mean, that was absolutely fantastic coming out from Cybe, getting a triple in for their work. And now, you got the high ground. I love this rotation coming from Saga because they're going to be able to rain so much hell down onto Crimson Crew's head. But you do have Supercharger. You do have the Amp Matrix as well. So let's see how they address this.
And Bob's still available for the defense. The problem with the Amp Matrix is it's tough to find value while Saga is just treehousing on the top, completely fortified and not willing to budge unless they absolutely have to. If they do, Games is going to drop down, put some shots in, and then just Coach Gun right back up to the high ground. But it also means Saga's not touching Cart, and all the while Crimson Crew are just getting free progress.
Yep, and I mean, that is the danger of running at their blood. That's going to be a massive window.
From both sides, as a matter of fact. Oh, speaking of massive, that Flux finds 4 right into the Molten Core, but the Immortality Field perfectly placed, keeping everybody alive so far. The Orisa wanders a little bit too far, gets burned down by the Hyperspheres. And Guckers did manage to get 1, but it's all Saga from there, as you just have the BAP and the Orisa left on the cart for Crimson Crew.
Oh my goodness, Myth once again just showing up and showing out. That's going to be the hold there that you want. And now, you see Johnny Depp losing the Hanzo here and bringing out a Ashe of their own. You've got Tyre online. So that is your initiation tool if you are Crimson Crew. See what kind of work you can get done with this Tyre. And, I like this position. He's being sneaky. I love this sneaky play here.
What are you going to do, Jester? You've got Saga all sitting behind Cart, playing safe as they have the entire match. They're sitting back. Supercharger out. Mod's mopping over the Doomfist, but here comes the Tyre, jumping the gap, looking for the back line. It's very low! EDITt takes it down at the final moment, denying the Tyre its prize. And then Jester leaps up into a world of hurt as the Supercharger continues to embolden Saga on this defense. Mod is going to pick up 1. And follows it up with another. Now going up top with a nice move with the uppercut. Getting up to the high ground. Circling around onto Johnny Depp. Who threw their Ashe out because the overtime wicket is about to start burning. Got to try. Got to do something. But it's not going to be enough to get any more progress through the streets of Eichenwald.
Just coordinated chaos coming in from Crimson Crew. Just 1 HP left would have destroyed that bunker that they had set up, and that would have been all progress. And going on to point 3, that was a huge play coming out from Etienne once again in the off-tank roll, taking down the Tyre at the last possible second. So your win condition set for Saga Genesis, and I'm also really digging Can of Soup on this Zenyatta. Let me tell you, the Discord orbs are absolutely ringing true right now, my friend. They are getting so much value.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, something like an Orisa suddenly has 360 health instead of 450. If you're looking at Sigma, it's only 320 health with the Discord, because with 20% extra damage, I mean, you might as well just count those health points gone. And with a little bit of focus fire, I mean, it's surprising how fast you'll go down when you're Discord orbed.
Indeed. I mean, we saw Guckers bring out a Sigma of their own. Didn't get the same amount of value that we're seeing coming out from Etienne on the Sigma, but this might be a little bit different coming out from them bringing the Wrecking Ball into the fray. Nothing really to stop the progress of a Wrecking Ball here. Nah, they're going to go ahead and go back to the double show.
Yeah. I find it interesting, and it happened on the attack phase for Crimson Crew. We didn't really get a chance to touch on it. But Guckers and Shogun have kind of swapped roles. So Shogun's moved over to the main tank role, picking up the Orisa. So Guckers playing Sigma, which is just... It's changed the pace a little bit for Crimson Crew, and you can see how it's serving them well already as Jester picks up a pair of kills.
Yeah, and I mean, that turret is doing a lot of work right now. But they take it down real quick, and now Spart is going to bring the rotation around. Is he going to be able to stay up through the fight here?
No, and the res is going to come through. You've got the Mercy there to pocket the Ashe and get your Orisa back in battle when they go awry like that. I think Saga's still waiting for some reinforcements to show back up, as it looks like the BAP and Sigma are back into this fight.
Oh, I love this pincher move. I love the pincher move they're trying to bring in. And Mod bringing out the Pharah. They don't have anything really to deal with the Pharah other than that turret, and they're focusing it down with a lethality.
I mean, Johnny Depp's going to have to land some shots. But, oh, and the other thing that might have been able to do it was the Baptiste. Baptiste is gone. The turret does eventually find that kill. Baptiste doesn't get rezzed! What a stun from Games to deny getting the Baptiste back in battle. That is potentially point saving right there from a single flashbang, and now Games is back in this fight, and Saga are starting to build some percentage. Well, they've got an Orisa to deal with.
That's going to be quick work for them to get down, and now they can just hold corner here and just pour all this damage into the side. That's going to be point A picked up for them. And you've got Deadeye. You've got almost, you do have 5 ultimates online for Saga Genesis, but I mean, look at the other side. You've got a lot of contention to come in from here. You've got the Amp Matrix. I'm looking for that one to be huge. Also, Bob is going to be available and ready to go.
No, they did not res North. I wonder if she didn't have it online yet. I gotta check this. No, it looked like she had res. North went down on the back end of the fight and now has to just hoof it all the way back in. It could have been a huge opening. Fortunately for them, Saga likes to play things a little slow, and the Baptiste will get back in this fight. But yeah, look at all these ults. Supercharger to start things off. Torbjorn's turret immediately dealt with, but he's gonna throw Molten Core. Games is gonna take him out before he can finish all of the lava. Bob thrown out from the defense from the high ground, but there's a supercharger out. Bob's not going to last too long. It does buy enough time for the res to come through. Actually, a pretty brilliant play from Crimson Crew, but they can't deny the damage from the far. 3 kills under Mod's belt.
I mean, and the cleanup from here is going to be massive, Frank. I mean, game side right now. Yep, that's the better part of Valor, but I mean, how long do you have to really put it out?
You're throwing yourselves off the side, and the cart's about to just roll home. Oh no.
Man.
A little bit of a misplay there, because I mean, there was a Torb and a Mercy available. You might have been able to do something to stall that cart long enough for the reinforcements to show up. But whew. Man, Saga, they do a good job of like, we're gonna wait. It's go time! Like, and then just overwhelm. And that's what we saw right there on point B. Decisive attack, decisive ult usage, and a brilliant 3K barrage.
Yeah, I mean, Mod getting the best of that ultimate there. They did lose their life, but I mean, the damage had already been done. Just the game sense to be aware that card is hoofing it around the corner there.
Yeah.
You can't yeet yourself off the side. You can't yeet yourself off if you're Torbjorn as well, because he was down on the lower ground there. He could have come up through Castle and at least tried to, use the overpower, at least stall for long enough for somebody to get back.
Well, and even the fact that the Torb was positioned down there, like, I mean, you're trying to go on this long flank to come up behind the enemy team, and they're gonna push the cart in. Your team's already dead. You're just disconnecting yourself from the rest of the fight. I mean, I can't help but wonder if the Mercy was like trying to fly to the Torb through the window, and they just didn't quite get the timing lined up because the Mercy was in trouble and getting shot at. So she's just like, I gotta go now.
Right,
but. In the end, it's Saga Genesis on match point. We're going to take a quick break, catch our breaths. We're going to return on Volskaya, see if Crimson Crew can bring it back or if Saga is going to close it out. Saga Genesis up 2-0 at the half as we head into Volskaya. Beautiful attack on point B Eichenwald to seal the deal on that map and send them on to series point. Looking to close things out here at Crimson Crew. Hoping to put a stop to that, see if they can start their comeback.
I mean, the SWATs that came in, they had the pieces there.
Yeah.
An unfortunate tire break at the last possible earthly second saved Saga on their defensive stage. But, once the ultimate started coming online for Saga, their discipline and their ability to stack them in a proper way, their order of operations was absolutely chef's kiss. There, especially through the streets phase, and I mean, they never seemed like they were going to lose it. They had such a massive time bank going through it as well. So we'll see how it goes through.
A very disciplined performance on Eichenwald on both defense and attack from Saga Genesis, as they do a good job of playing their distance. They know the win condition of their composition. They play their distances perfectly. And Volskaya is just going to be another place for them to show off that excellent coordination and that excellent understanding. So I expect to see more double shield from Saga Genesis, who should be going on the attack, but we'll have to wait and see if they actually do.
I mean, there's so many ways that they could address it if they are on the defense. You could do the split shields because defense on Volskaya A affords you those two high grounds, and especially with a game side on the Ashe so far today, man, what a performance we've seen out of them. They seem to be the stand-in DPS for all comps here. So that's going to be their DPS carry. But man, I really liked Urboros. I liked what we saw coming in from Mod as well, having the Pharah. Saw the immediate value of that once they swapped over to that hero. So, the moving parts of Saga Genesis right now, it all seems to be extremely coordinated and map dependent. And I love the rotations that they've been taking all day and the supports. I mean, Myth Goose, Lucy, we saw a can of soup come in. I mean, it's just been a wonderful performance from them. That's the veteran stuff that I was talking about in our pre-show. Is just the veteran performance coming out from them right now. And they're just showing, nice, steady consistency. And, with the win here, it's going to vault them up to the top of the standings.
I mean, I like the aggression from the other side. Crimson Crew definitely showing us some signs of greatness. They just need to kind of dial it in a little bit. The team wants to get aggressive, I think it's perfectly illustrated by that Torb trying to take that flank angle on the back end of Eichenwald, where you want to try to play these off angles, you want to try to catch them off guard and get aggressive, but the timing is just slightly off. If they could dial in that rhythm, they've got a real chance here on Volskaya.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jester on the Junkrat was doing a lot of damage to the shields as well. So the shield break potential, having that Junkrat in there was really starting to get to them. I just think that, the off angles that game was taking really was working to their advantage. And yes, we are going to see Saga Genesis come out on the attack here. So please disregard everything I said about them defending, and let's talk about Crimson Crew's defense coming out here. They continue to keep this, the defense here that we saw with Shogun and Gucker swapping roles. But Johnny Depp bringing out a McCree, so you're going to have the poke from range there as well. Jester bringing out that Junkrat again. I like the sustain here. The Moira Bat, you're going to have the immortality field to keep you up when the overwhelming pressure comes in from Crimson Crew.
Yeah, I think I like Shogun on the Orisa. Guckers seemed a little foolhardy in the main tank position. As Shogun seems a little bit more leading the convoy as it would, in wise ways, the timing a little bit better, the positioning a little bit better. As right now the defense positioned behind the forklift, but the Ryan Zarya coming out from Sparheart and Ninja, who has subbed in.
I played against Ninja Xperia in a off-season tournament. It was a tier 1 team versus a tier 2 team, and he actually said we played quite well against him. He was the off-take there as well. So we shall see what we shall see with them. But man, this attack coming in right now is lethal. But you're seeing the kills coming from Shogun. That's 2 in the fight.
Yeah, they made short work of that rotation, identifying it perfectly. Crimson Crew just punished them at all the right angles. Gesture was putting so much damage on the top, it didn't allow Saga any room to work.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see, Johnny Depp, 62% to a Deadeye already. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the lines that he's taking. He's really not getting any kind of damage coming in from him. But now, the Urboros May that we were so very happy with, that's a huge wall!
Propelled forward by a mine from Jester. Urboros makes perfect use of it, but Sparheart is the one who falls. Getting a little aggressive. The 3v6 actually won by the defense, and now there's a tire coming out. Jester's going to find Urboros with that one. And -2, Saga are just forced to back right on out.
And Ultimate's coming up online for the defense here. You're looking at Deadeye. You're looking at a Coalescence online already. Both tank Ultimates should be gained here in the next fight. And you're just lacking behind right now. Sparheart and Ninja, they're going to have to start getting the work in. They're going to have to start making the rotations the right way.
Well, it looks like Saga just going to stay low and press the issue this time. Maywall leaves a little bit of a gap this time, and Jester finds a pair of kills immediately. Coalescence as well as the Gravitic Flux out, and tank line down. Back to spawn you go, Saga. You've already lost half your time.
Immortality Barrier and Coalescence to keep the team up through the mid-fight was absolutely brutal and beautiful. And now you look at Jester once again coming up on another tire. I mean, he's getting about one every 2 fights. So this is some really good work coming in from the Junkrat player for Crimson Crew. You did invest both of your tank ultimates, though. So that is going to be a point of aggression that Sparheart and Ninja can take advantage of.
Let's see if they choose to rotate around left side this time, perhaps force the issue on the objective. Yeah, it looks like exactly what they're going to do. Coming in with Shatter. Maywall split him off from the other side this time and going for the back line. Hammer finds a pair, but the Immortality Field is there. Keeping Guckers alive. Nope, not for long. Tire in response, but there's already half of the defense missing as Johnny Depp was able to find one and Saga are able to clean up.
I mean, and that wall once again from Urboros.
Mod it was, excuse me.
Yeah, from Urboros once again, sealing the fate of Crimson Crew, and now you've got quite a few ultimates that you can throw in here and really try to gain this last point in a hurry. 3.5 minutes to do it. I'm looking for Blizzard to come out first, and then maybe hit that Graviton Surge on them.
Yeah, I want to see him stagger the ults any order they choose to do it. I don't think you want to use both simultaneously.
Okay.
As Sparheart, I think he was caught in a trap down there. It was just standing still. Graviton Surge over the top. And they are going to use both of them simultaneously. Immortality Field up. They're going to have to burn through that. Coalescence used, and immediately 2 kills on the feed. Sound Barrier invested as well as Sparheart finds 4 in the fight. Just swinging to the fences here with that giant hammer.
I mean, they stacked all their ultimates. They at least staggered them enough. But I mean, that's going to be the full capture there in less than a minute to take point B. 243 is their time bank. That was a measured amount of aggression that I love to see. Once again, it's that veteran leadership. You know that they called the order of how they were going to go. And that grab from Ninja was huge. And they just waited for the Immortality Barrier to get bursted down. And then they threw in the Blizzard.
Yeah, you can almost see the comms in the gameplay. That's how coordinated Saga were looking. I mean, and that's when you know they're just clean. Like I don't picture a whole lot of shouting in those comms. Like those are the kind of comms that I picture are just like calm and collected. You got a couple people just making calls, and everybody's following up on them perfectly.
I think Lucy has a foul mouth, though.
Well, I can't speak to that. So
I can. I don't know who their in-game leader is, but I know that Lucy is, obviously a veteran of the CGL and really, has a calm demeanor about her most of the time. She's fiery at times, and that's what I love the most about her. But the win condition is set. I mean, you can full hold them right here and just end the suffering of Crimson Crew, because that was coordination on a whole different level. And Lucy bringing out the Baptiste. You're seeing Can of Soup bringing out the Zenyatta. So the greedy support line has returned, my friend.
Yes, it has. The other thing I'm noticing is the Ash Torb. So I'm kind of curious on the turret place. Okay, turret's down in the Mega Room to help protect the flank onto Mod. On the attack, we're going to get the Rhine Sigma coming out from Shogun and Guckers. Shogun.
Celtic Pride.
Shogun picking up the Reinhardt this time, and I like it. Jester on the Junkrat, just going to circle up to the high ground. Oh, but just greeted by some shots out of Mod's Viper immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that Mod is on this Ash right now. That spam damage, if they work it the right way, will get so much value. The TNT spam damage, it's going to really drain the resources coming out from Ninja and North Star.
That was a long-distance skill orb right there. Threw that all the way across the opposing high ground to find the Zenyatta. And with a +1, Crimson Crew are going to dive down onto the low ground. They've got Mod very low, who's forced to back out. Can't cover the rotation, can't punish that movement onto the point. And now Crimson Crew have already picked up a tick, and they're going to force Saga to come back and make the engagement and try to steal it back. And Sparheart and Mod go down when they try to do it.
Yep, and I mean Johnny Depp on this Soldier 76 now, locking in the legs, getting immediate value of this hero, and there's still a little bit of contest going on. Question mark?
Yeah, Urboros was out there on the Torb, just stalling for as much time as possible. But
5.5 minutes.
yeah, another monstrous time bank. Crimson Crew not to be outdone.
So, looking at the offense coming in right now, you got the amplification matrix to start the aggression and really build the ultimates coming in from the rest of your team, because you want to get a tire up as quickly as possible. That way you have tac visor and you have the tire online to really start to bully bully Saga, because they're just going to fall back in a bunker and just take the aggression from range.
They're playing a little closer than they have in the previous couple of maps, as dueling Ant Matrix comes out, Molten Core thrown in from Urboros. The Amplification Matrix there, the Immortality Field there, excuse me, to keep the team alive. But it's Saga coming up with a couple picks, courtesy of those DPS. Really no ultimates needed. The ultimates used to zone them out, and then it just put them right in Urboros' and Mod's LOS.
The smart thing here that we see is that both tank ultimates are still online. You're going to have Bob to contest the point too. Should the pressure get too much? What I'm looking for right now, though, Canna Soup's got 8% to this Transcendence. Guckers has the Gravitic Flux online. Do we see a Gravitic Flux into a tac visor? That could be very deadly indeed.
That could be lethal. Up to the high ground once again goes Crimson Crew. Looking for that opener, looking for somewhere to drop this Flux. If they can drop the Flux first, then get in and Earthshatter to clean it up. Like you said, combined with Attack Visor, this could be done and dusted. Flux coming out first. 3 people caught in that. The Orisa able to fortify up. Immortality Field down. Johnny Depp's going to drop the visor as he circled around up to the high ground above, but the Kinetic Grasp is absorbing most of that damage. Transcendence invested from Canna Soup. And here comes the Shatter to try and close it out. Shatter got a turret, and a couple people were down momentarily, but they're back on their feet. Saga has shields up, and they're not looking too worse for wear. They're going to trade out. These trades are going to favor the defense. Although Sparheart and Mod are down. There's only 3 members of the defense left, but there's not enough reinforcements for Crimson Crew to take advantage.
No, and you've got the experimental barrier. You've also got kinetic grasp that can stop a lot of aggression coming in. You've also got a Discord orb from Can of Soup that could really stop your aggression coming in. And now, Ninja will have this gravitic flux to stop any kind of aggression coming in. I want to see how they really play with this. Are they going to drop him on top of a molten core? That would be something that I haven't seen.
Yeah, that is a wicked combo. Because you just lob on the floor while they're all up in the air, and they just stand down, stare at it. Nothing to do. A charge into a fortified Orisa already puts Shogun low. Amplification Matrix, Coalescence, both support ults used from the attacking Crimson Crew. But Shogun goes down. Now the Molten Core is out. And Mod Butterfly just sitting back here with the freedom. There's nobody putting any pressure on the Ash. And they're just free to land shots with this Viper.
I mean, we're going to have Bob again in the next fight, especially with how Bubba Boy is really laying into them with the Viper. I love the work that's being put in by the DPS crew here. Urboros, you don't say that, the Torbjorn is the best pick all the time, but the turret placement, the Molten Core usage, absolutely exquisite so far.
I would like to see Johnny Depp work that flank again. On their first attack, he tried to work the high ground. I think he's going to need to do that and get in Mod's face if they want any hope of this. You've got to shut down that long-range attack, otherwise you have no chance of winning the front line.
I mean, Candace is going to have Transcendence again, too. So, I mean, you've got to deal with that as well, my friend.
Interesting pathing as the entirety of Crimson Crew takes the lift around and are now up on inside the small room high ground. This is going to be a tough place for them to get out of. Okay, they're going to drop out of the back, try to close the distance here as they do have Flux and Visor ready to go.
I mean, but Transcendence and Bob also online for the defenders, and you're crossing under 90 seconds here. Big rock coming out from Ninja. That was huge and stalled a lot of the retreat there. Got to look for a tie, though. Got to see if Jester can get this tire up online and work it in combination with some of these tank ultimates.
Well, Johnny Depp is taking my advice and bringing all of his friends along with him. As Crimson Crew circle all the way back behind Saga in an attempt to close this gap. Big charge, Tire combined, Tire on the top, hits the Immortality Field. Now the Flux and the Tech are thrown in, but Can of Soup keeping everybody topped off. The Transcendence negating all of the aforementioned damage, and Mod and Urboros come up with the goods.
I mean, that's exactly what you want to see, and, gaining in that fight. Xperia has the Flux online now. So, you've got Shatter, you've got the Amp Matrix available. Under 30 seconds here. I mean, Saga on series point here. And we see a couple of suicides off the point. Question mark?
I think North Star may have been caught in a weird spot. I don't know. I was watching the Moira in the back like you were. I didn't see where the suicides took place.
Oh boy.
Moira goes down and joins the rest of the team. One last chance in this series. Earth Shatter is denied as a beautiful kill comes through. Mod once again opening with a pair of picks. Now the Gravitic Flux comes through, and Ninja finds a pair as well. Molten Core is just a big old welcome mat to greet Crimson Crew as they are sent packing. Saga Genesis will take Volskaya in the clean 3-0 sweep in our series.
And 5 minutes and 30 seconds, stall, 0 points progress. I mean, that was a beautiful hold coming from them. And I mean, just on the backs of some superior team play, Bull Skunk, that's exactly what you want to see. And I mean, Saga Genesis looking scary.
Absolutely scary. This is a team to keep an eye on as they continue their perfect streak through the opening of our fall 2020 season, moving to 3-0, have not dropped a map. And I mean, that was, I don't even know who to give the tip of the hat to on that one. The coordination was good all around. The support ideal. No matter who was in the DPS role, most recent, recency bias pointing to Mod, clicking heads left and right. Even the Tor was getting a lot of value. Tank line leading the way. Saga just had all of the pieces flowing like a beautiful, well-oiled machine in this series.
Oh boy, who do I give it to? I give it to Myth Goose.
I think that's what I can't argue with that.
I give it to Myth Goose. I think that their support play, they did have the interchangeable parts coming in with Can of Soup and Lucy. Lucy putting out the heals tremendously as well. I think I would give it to the entire support line if I could, but Myth, because he was in there all the maps, I think I give it to him just based upon that. And I mean, the app matrices, the immortality barriers that came out when he had them going on were absolutely massive. And so we'll see.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh no, we'll see if they can continue it through the rest of the season as we're in week 3. We're a third of the way done now. They're on a perfect 3-0 record. This is looking good for Saga.
And I love the identity of this team. That you can tell that they've found this really conservative counterpunch style, and it's served them well. And once again, they knew their win conditions every step of the way. They knew how to play the perfect optimal distance for the heroes they were running at any given time, whether it was the Reinhardt Brawl, whether it was the double shield. And this is going to be a team to keep an eye on in Tier 2, no doubt. On the other side, Crimson Crew, I mean, they started to show us some of that identity with their aggression. Their DPS line definitely had some pop-off moments. Johnny Depp certainly comes to mind with that, particularly on the Hanzo. Just need to tighten up the timing just a little bit. I think Crimson Crew can certainly put up a good showing in this series, or in this season, rather. But it just wasn't enough today.
I really like the Shogun on the Orisa. I think they played very well as the Orisa. Standout, I mean, Johnny Depp, whatever DPS they played, they were getting a ton of value as well. So I think if you clean up, like you said, go back to the coaching, go through the VOD, and really, pick out those points where your rotation might have been a little bit hasty. Because I think that was the biggest problem, is that the rotations were a little bit too fast.
Yeah, it was timing. I think it was just all around timing.
But I mean, if you get the timing down, boy, they're going to be scary too.
And I think this is a team that could really start to put some W's on the board come the back half of the season. But It's Saga putting up the W's relentlessly to start off the season, and I don't expect that to slow down. Fantastic performance from them here today. I mean, I'm just gonna end it on that note. Like that's all I got to say. Just fantastic. Tip of the hat to y'all.
Yep, I think that's a good night for casting.
It's a great
Getting
night.
to cast with you again. It's a night in the CGL Thursday night doubleheader. Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, friends at home, for hanging out with us. Appreciate all the follows, all the support. We had multiple hosts coming through, a sub from Big Bad Wolf earlier on the stream. It means the world to us here. And I mean, sincerely cannot express our appreciation enough for your support. So thank y'all so very much. And, well, until next time, y'all remember to look out for each other in game and out. And we'll see you back here for more multi tier tournament.
Bye, guys. Love y'all.